What if the greatest space mission in history was a lie, and the truth could bring down an empire? Star City started as a simple For All Mankind spin-off, showing the Soviet side of the alternate space race. But by the Season 1 finale, it's become its own high-stakes political thriller. The Venus mission looked doomed until Sergei confirms Sasha and Lakshmi are alive, sending them coordinates to land in Finland instead of the USSR. When Lyudmila discovers his betrayal, it triggers an explosive confrontation that ends with Sasha deliberately getting arrested so Lakshmi can escape. Apple TV hasn't officially renewed Star City for Season 2 yet, but if greenlit, the best-case release window is late 2027 or early 2028. Here's where the story could go. What happens to Sasha, Tanya, and the others? The Season 1 finale leaves massive doors open. Irina Morozova and Sergei Nikolov, both key For All Mankind characters in their younger years, are still very much in play, with decades of timeline left before catching up to the main series. Then there's Tanya. She started fresh in Paris, but she's being followed. Right now, it's anyone's guess whether it's a Russian agent or an American one, and that choice could completely redirect the entire narrative. Given how much the show has invested in her arc, expect Tanya to end up at the center of escalating political chaos. Sergei and the chief designer's fate hangs in the balance too. Last seen being driven off in what's almost certainly a prison-bound truck, their stories aren't over. Sergei is too vital to the Soviet space program's future to be written off. The chief designer, though shown as a man past his limits without resources for another mission, still has political drama left to mine, especially as the show could adopt For All Mankind's time-skipping structure. Season 2 cast. Who's back? Who's not? Season 1 didn't shy from major departures, so Season 2 will look different. Agnes O'Casey is expected back as Irina Morozova, the connective tissue holding this story together. Rhys Ifans likely returns as the chief designer, having dodged the full wrath of the Soviet state so far. Joseph Davies should reprise Sergei Nikolov, potentially in an even bigger role as the timeline edges closer to For All Mankind events. Anna Maxwell Martin is also primed to return as Lyudmila Raskova, evolving into a full-blown antagonist. Sasha, Anastasia, and Lakshmi's futures are murkier. Solly McLeod, Alice Englert, and Priya Kansara could return, but how their characters re-enter the story remains uncertain. Tanya might become more central, giving Ruby Ashbourne's circus more room to shine. The biggest confirmed change? Adam Nagaitis is out, his character Valya dies during Season 1. Sasha's emotional choice to stay behind so Lakshmi could escape will have brutal fallout. Will the Soviets imprison him or execute him outright to cover up the Venus mission disaster? The real danger may fall on Lakshmi and Anastasia. Since Lakshmi actually reaches Finland, there's a genuine risk the world learns the truth about how catastrophic the Venus mission really was. But here's the catch. For All Mankind never mentions this happening, which complicates that theory. Then there's Anastasia's desperate gamble, hijacking an escape capsule and crash landing back on Earth with zero protocol. That alone could tip everything into chaos. The Soviets would love to punish her severely, but Anastasia is too important to the space program's future to be written off. Expect the politics of control to intensify, with characters pushing back in increasingly unpredictable, rebellious ways. There might not be much actual space travel since we know Soviet Mars missions don't kick off until much later, but the political conflict possibilities are endless. If you're loving this deep dive into Star City and want more exclusive breakdowns, early access content, and behind-the-scenes analysis, consider joining our membership, sending a super thanks, or dropping some stars. It truly helps us keep bringing you the content you love. Let me know in the comments. Who do you think is following Tanya? And do you believe Sasha makes it out alive?